This is what my blesser from America that I was dating did to me. Hide my name completely because this one is a very sensitive and a painful confession, and I am writing this using a fake account. I am a 26-year-old woman. My name, you will call me Z for today. I was born and raised here, living here in South Africa, and I have trauma that I have been carrying in my heart. It has ruined my relationships and it has messed up my love life. I am about to get into a serious marriage proposal, but my past is making me terrified. I'm too terrified to say yes to this guy. I'm too terrified to move even forward. And this is how I got trapped here on TikTok. So it was when I was 22 years old. I was a student and I was studying at a certain university. And the pressure to live a soft life, it came from some of the new friends that I had on campus, and it was really extreme. From a very young age, I was someone that always wanted a good life, and I wanted to be that kind of a girl that will be dating a guy that will be pushing a nice car. I never wanted to date broke guys because my mother used to complain quite a lot. Whenever my mother would be fighting with my dad, my mother, she would start to regret, saying that with the way that I am beautiful, if I had been married by someone else, maybe life was going to be much better. My allowances that I was getting, they were quite small, and my family back home in the Eastern Cape, they were struggling. And because of the peer pressure, and I also want to blame myself because I surrounded myself with people that did not have good intentions about me. The girls that I surrounded myself with, they were those type of girls that love expensive stuff, and they judge you according to what kind of a Brazilian wig is on your head, what kind of a latest iPhone you have. Do you go to these expensive restaurants every weekend with your boyfriend or not? If you date a boy that can't take you out and go with you to these expensive restaurants every weekend and spending someone's salary in one night, they would laugh at you and they will make you to feel so broke. And this is what made me to even dump guys that I could have gotten married to. Some of them, they are even working and they have steady jobs and they are living nice lives to this day. One evening, it was out of pure boredom and I was lonely. I then posted a video of myself. I was dancing to an Amapiano song, but maybe because of the clothes that I was wearing, they really showed off my natural African curves. A few hours later, there were a lot of guys, some South Africans, some non-South Africans. They were direct messaging me, saying that they wanted me, asking me if I was doing hookups, where I was. I was just ignoring all of those boys. It was an older white man from America, whom I'll call Richard, who turned out to be 60 years old. So from the very first message, Richard, he was not like complimenting me in a pervert kind of a way. He just told me that he wanted a South African woman and he was American. He said that he was a wealthy businessman who wanted a South African woman badly. He said that American men, they are obsessed with South African women because South African women, they have great bodies and they are beautiful. We have natural booties. At 22, I felt incredibly flattered when he was like, do you know that some women here in America, they go for surgery just to have bumps like yours and you were born with them? I thought to myself, wow, look at me now, as simple as a girl catching the eye of a rich American man. Within 2 weeks of talking, Richard asked for my banking details and sent me $2,000. this money, it did not come into my account. I had to go to Western Union. I did not even know what Western Union even was all about until he sent me a slip and he told me that I had to follow the steps, and I then googled it up and I saw that in order for me to get this money, this was what I had to do. So I went and I opened up a bank account with Absa, and then I was able to withdraw that money straight into my banking account. It was a lot of money. When he said 2,000 US dollars, I thought maybe it was going to be 2,000 rands. It turned out to be somewhere around 40,000 rands. My head was spinning for a good reason. I immediately went out. I bought nice wigs. I even sent some money to my mom, and I started to live the life that I wanted. He then sent me another money, and that is how he became my official American blesser. But as they say, there is no free lunch in this world, especially when dealing with an old blesser. The moment that he sent me the second message, I saw that Richard's tone, it changed completely. He started demanding that we have sex on the phone. He would ask me the time zone and his time zone. If I was okay, if I was not bored, then he would say, let us have sex on the video call. Since he was someone that was paying me, and I decided to go single during the time when I was dating Richard because he was possessive about me, he would call me and say, switch to video. I want to see who you are with in your room. Every time I answered the video calls, he did not want to talk about my studies, my day, or my life. He only wanted to talk about sex. He would say, strip yourself naked in front of the phone camera, asking me to show my body, my cookie, playing with it from different angles, whilst he was also playing with his manhood in his bedroom there in America. I started to feel very uncomfortable and I was always anxious. I tried to change the subject many times, asking him about his life, his family, or when we were going to start planning for a real future or marriage, but he would completely dodge those questions. He would just tell me to shut up and to show him his body that he was paying for. He would always say, I want you to show me your ass. I began to realize that Richard, he did not respect me as a human being or a girlfriend. He was treating me like I was a cheap gold digger, and he was paying for the affection that I was giving to him. I was someone that was like his prostitute, and he was buying me using his US dollars. But because I was now dependent on his money and terrified of going back to being a broke university student, I swallowed my pride and I swallowed my dignity, and I kept stripping for him on video calls every night. I was enjoying it since he was giving me money. Eventually, Richard then booked an emergency flight and he flew down to South Africa. He did not come to Joburg. He had booked us at a nice high-end apartment overlooking the ocean in Cape Town for 2 weeks and told me to catch a flight from university to come and stay with him. The first few days in Cape Town, it felt like I was in a luxury movie. We were eating expensive seafood, drinking champagne, shopping at the VA waterfront. But when it came to the bedroom, Richard started to show me that he was something else. One night, while we were in bed, he suddenly started to show me videos of people that were having anal sex. I immediately froze and I told him, and I said, no, Richard, I've never done that in my life. It is against my culture. I am completely uncomfortable with it. But he could not take no for an answer, and he started to emotionally manipulate me. He started to remind me of the money that he has been sending, and it was against my culture as well to do the things that we used to do on the phone. So why not just go into the deep dive like he used to say? I looked at him and I realized that if I refused, then he was going to leave me maybe stranded in Cape Town, and I still wanted my allowance and he would block me. I was so afraid of losing my wealthy American blesser and going back to poverty. So I asked him what we were supposed to do. He taught me. We went and we bought a lot of lubrication, baby oil, and he started to put it in there, and I agreed to his demand. It was very painful. I don't know what was making him to enjoy, but sure, it was painful. It was as if there was someone that was sticking a needle down them. The pain was just too much with all the lube that we had put inside, but still the pain, it is just it was uncomfortable on that night. So we ended up spending the entire time only having anal sex. He would only do oral using my real private part, kissing it and licking, but when it was time for penetration, we would only do anal sex. So he finally returned back to America. We kissed so deep, and he promised me that he would send me more money when he would have landed in his country. Then, when he was in America, I waited for him. I kept on checking him on WhatsApp to check if he had arrived safely. I saw that my messages were only showing one tick, one tick, one tick. I checked his TikTok. I was blocked. Instagram, I'm blocked. Then on WhatsApp, that was when I realized that this guy, he had blocked me. So he just left me like that. He did not even send me any more money. After that, when I finally came to terms with what he had done and how he had broken my heart, I moved on with my life. But what I have witnessed and realized is that once I started to move on to date normal South African men, I am permanently damaged sexually. My mind, I don't know what is happening. That is why I have come here, because I need advice. To this day, I have absolutely no feeling or desire to sleep with a man using my natural private part. Whenever a man tries to touch me there, my body completely locks up, it goes dry, and I feel absolutely zero pleasure. I get dry in my cooking. We have to use lubrication at all the times when I am making love to a man, always putting lubrication. And when it gets dry, I can even have vaginal tearing and it will even start bleeding. My mind, I don't know what is going on. Am I losing myself? The only thing that makes me to even come during sex, I only want intimacy and desire through anal sex, and I only want just oral sex during the time when we are having romance on my cooking. But penetration, I want it at the back. I don't know if it is coming from the trauma that I experienced. A year ago, I even fell deep in love with a guy. Since he was someone that was open, he was like, babe, we need to be open with each other. I decided to be honest with him. I sat with him down and I confessed, and I told him about my American blesser, that he introduced me to anal sex. The guy then said that it was disgusting. He refused to even sleep with me after that. He said that, Z, you are weird. You are a damaged product. I am a Christian man. I can't do that disgusting thing with you. He dumped me the very next morning via WhatsApp, leaving me completely heartbroken. Now fast forward to the day. For the past year, I have been dating a man that I can call an amazing, respectful, hardworking man who loves me to death. He treats me with so much dignity, he protects me, and he respects my boundaries. Just last weekend, during a private dinner, he told me that as a family, they are ready to send the uncles to my families in the Eastern Cape to pay for lobola, and I have to be married properly before the end of this year. I should be the happiest woman in South Africa right now, but I am scared. My partner, I know him, he is a traditional man, who is a clean man who would want nothing to do with anal sex and whatnot. He wants us to build a family, but we haven't been fully intimate yet because I've been making excuses, telling him that I want us to wait until we are officially married. But the honest truth is that I am terrified of the wedding night. I know that when it comes time for us to be intimate, my body will fail me. I won't feel anything normal. I will be forced to ask him so that we can have anal together. I am completely stuck. I need your real honest advice. Should I take the risk and tell my future husband the truth about what made me to be what I am right now, my physical condition, even though I know it might make him look at me with disgust? Or should I keep this dark secret buried inside of my heart, marry him in silence, and force myself to endure an intimate life where I feel completely dead if I am not having anal? Please, my fellow sisters and elders, do not judge me or insult me in the comments. I never knew that this American guy, this was the type of sex that he would demand from me. And I did not know that by agreeing to do what he wanted us to do, this was where I would end up. And I just need your honest opinion. Is it going to come to an end, or am I always going to be that kind of a woman who can only enjoy intimacy through anal? It is something that I never even imagined in my entire life, and honestly speaking, I only did it for the sake of money and nothing else. I regret the day that I ever met that guy, because the things that he brought into my life, I really do not know where else to turn to. I wish that he had not dumped me. If he had not dumped me, now that I can't find a guy that is willing to do the things that I am used to so that I can enjoy during intimacy, I would be with the guy that introduced me to that. I would be happy. If I pray about this, my brother, do you think that I am going to change, or nothing will ever change? I am always going to be like this. And do you think that it is ungodly for a woman to crave anal, even though I started to crave it shortly after I was introduced to it by this guy? I'll be following through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with our sister in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. You're a blesser from America. If you ever come across such a situation, if so, you can reach out to us via our email, or you can come to our inbox at Brother Nashi on TikTok or on Facebook. Let us meet again in the following episode.